Hi, I'm John Heary. I want to welcome you to your Fat Week, your 8-week Fat Method program. I'm super excited to have you here. Hopefully, you're as excited as I am. This is definitely going to be life changing for you, and I don't say that lightly. I really mean that. You we've had over 500 people go through the Fat Method program, and to say the most, that most of these people's lives have changed is an understatement. We have many testimonials. You've probably seen some of them before, and that's maybe why you're even here. And but however you came, I'm so glad that you're here. Hopefully, like I said, you're as excited as I am, and you're ready to dive in and see what this Fat Method program is all about. So, just a little bit of housekeeping before we get started with our first module. Um, so you're going to be getting a couple of emails from me. You may have gotten them already. One of them is going to be an email. It's going to have your workout attachment on there, and when I say attachment, I'm going to have links to your workout videos as well. So you're going to get two 4-week workout programs. The first one, like I said, you probably have gotten it already, but if not, you'll get it within the next couple of hours. And the next 4-week workout program, you'll get week four. You'll get that one in week four going into week five. And the other email is going to be it's an invitation to Facebook invitation. So if you're on Facebook, you'll be invited into our private Facebook group as well. Again, so it's a private Facebook group just for people going through the Fat Method program. And it's really good to have and be a part of because that's where you can ask a lot of your questions. Um, but you can also, see, questions that everybody else is asking. So you can also, definitely learn a lot from that as well too. And as the weeks go on, you'll see that and you'll know that, you can go, back to the beginning when we started the program, see, a lot of the posts that other people have, put in there. And you also see, some of the posts that I'll be putting in there as well too. And it's very motivating. And you'll see people say that, oh, I'm down 15 pounds, or my clothes fit, my clothes are, they're loose now. Getting so many compliments. So all that kind of stuff is in a private Facebook group. And like I said, any questions that you ask, you'll definitely get those answered right away by me or by somebody else that's in the group that's maybe gone through the program already. Um, but I do check every question. Um, and so you also be getting an email with a Zoom link. You want to make sure that you keep that over the next 8 weeks. I'll be doing a live Zoom every Wednesday night, and that's going to be at 7 o'clock. And on that call, you can come in. Well, Q&A. So if you have any questions, need answers to, you can ask those questions right there. And like I said, you can also ask questions in the private Facebook group as well, and you'll get an answer right there as well. But sometimes it's better just to get on the Zoom calls, live in person with me and everybody else going through the program, and you can get your questions answered there, and we'll get your questions answered right away. All of those Zoom meetings, those are also going to be recorded, and then I'll send those out as well too. So if you can't make one, but you still want to see, what all the questions were on the call that day, you'll also get that recording as well too. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's jump right into this. The FAT method. So, what is the FAT method? Well, I'm going to start by asking you a couple of questions. So, what I want you to do is I want you to, get a piece of paper and something that something you can write with. And I'll wait just a couple seconds here while you're grabbing something. So again, just want to get a piece of paper and a pen or something something you can write with. Okay, so all right, so here's how I start out. So in module number one, I'm going to go over the FAT method. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to jot down a few answers. First question is, what foods are good for weight loss? So I'll give you another, a few seconds. Go ahead and write down, your foods that you think are good for weight loss, and if you're like many people, you're probably writing down fruits, you're probably writing down vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, avocado, nuts, proteins, would be like, grilled chicken. Um, fruits and vegetables could be like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, spinach, apples, bananas, blueberries. All right. So if those were your answers, or if you had any other answer, whatever it is that you wrote down would actually be wrong. Yes, there are no foods that you can eat that will help you lose weight. Think about it for just a second, right? It's humanly impossible to ingest any kind of food into your system or drink anything that has calories and expect to lose weight from it, right? Think about it. How can you eat something and expect to lose weight? You can't. So, I think what a lot of people confuse that question with is, if the question was asked, what foods could you eat in place of other foods that will help you lose weight or not have you gain weight? So then those answers would be great, right? Right, like grilled chicken instead of pizza, banana instead of bowl of potato chips, an avocado instead of a cheeseburger, right? But that wasn't the question. So, the question is what foods can we eat to lose weight? And the answer is nothing. Okay. So hopefully that brief explanation just kind of makes sense, right there, or resonates with you, and you say, you know what, that's actually true. And here's another question. And I want you to write down the answers for this one. And on this one, there's actually only going to be one answer. I'm going to rattle off. So you can actually write these down. I'm going to rattle off a bunch of things that happen to your body, and these things happen when you do something. So I want you to write down what I say, what things happen to you inside your body and outside your body, and then I want you to write down what you think it is that you can do to bring on these things. So the first thing is weight loss. And these are in no particular order, but the first one's weight loss. The second one is increase in metabolism, speeding up your metabolism. Third one is an increase in energy. Fourth one is a better memory or an increase in your memory or your mental sharpness. Not forgetting as much. All right, next one is improving your sleep, getting a deeper, more sound sleep. Next one is decreasing or getting rid of those little nagging aches and pains that you have. As we get older, we get injured, and sometimes the aches and pains, they just kind of linger with us a little more, than it did when we were younger. So that goes away. Decreasing any bloating that you have, especially for women around that time of the month or any time. When you eat something that doesn't agree with you, a lot of times you'll have that bloating feeling. Well, what I'm talking about now decreases that or actually takes that away. Last two, there's no significant studies yet that show that this is 100% true, but there's a lot of promise with it, and that's increasing or preventing cancer and increasing your life expectancy. So just to go over those again, we have weight loss, increasing your energy, increasing your memory, better sleep, less bloating, less aches and pains, increase in life expectancy, and possibly preventing cancer. So what is it? What can you do that will bring on all those things or will help make those things happen? And exercise is not the answer. All right, you ready? Drum roll. I'm going to tell you what it is. So fasting, not eating. All right, think about it again. Weight loss, that kind of makes sense, right? But how about increasing your energy? How about speeding up your metabolism? How about giving you better sleep? How about less bloating? How about less aches and pains and nagging little injuries? How about possibly preventing cancer? Increasing life expectancy, pretty wild, right? Just from not eating. But we're not told that for a lot of reasons that I'll go into, in a few minutes. So, why why are we not told about these things? If they are, I mean, they're pretty significant, right? We're not talking, about losing weight and that's it. The other things I mentioned are very, very significant. I have three reasons to why I think fasting is so, taboo in our society and so frowned upon, and why it's so prevalent or more, mainstream in other countries. Does anybody have a guess? You have a guess as to why that might be? I have my three reasons, and again, these are my reasons, but I think I'm pretty spot on. First one is, there's a lot of misinformation about fasting, but they're all tied together to the main reason, which is, I'm going to say for last. So, there's a lot of misinformation. We're not told how great it is. We're, we're told actually the opposite, that it's terrible for you. Think about years ago. I mean, many years ago, did people eat, like 5 or 6 times a day? Absolutely not. People were not nearly as heavy as they are, now back in the day, right? They weren't eating as much. I'll tell you why. I think that stopped, where we changed from a society that barely ate, because you actually had to capture and kill your food in order to eat. So it was few and far between, and I'll tell you why I think we changed as a society. So first thing is misinformation. We're not told, how good it is for. Second one is we're a country of super consumers, right? Everything is bigger, more, there's, abundance, right? And we get my money's worth. So, think about like, like an all you can eat buffet, right? People love the idea. Many people love the idea that, I'm going to get to eat so much. Well, hey, you can't eat that much. It's humanly impossible. But I think it's, I want to get my money's worth, right? So, at a buffet, you think, big gulps, Big Mac, super size, right? The mocha grande latte at Starbucks. Everything is big, 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 right? We want more and more and more. And think about, when you go to a fast food restaurant and you get, $3, um, or $3 to $5 can get you a lot of food, right? It's crap, it's processed, it's it's full of chemicals and whatnot, but you get a lot of it, and that's what people care about. So, that's the first reason, is misinformation. The second reason is that, we're super consumers. The third reason, kind of ties it all together, and it's because there's no money to be made from any large major corporation or company telling you to fast. Who's gonna tell you to fast? The dairy industry, they're not gonna tell you to, right? Because you don't have to buy any more dairy, or you're not gonna, buy as much. The meat industry, it's not fruits and vegetables, right? Nobody's gonna tell you to fast because it's not beneficial to them. All right. They're not gonna make a profit from it, right? Recently, I went on Amazon and, I typed in diet and weight loss in the book section, and 60,000 books came up. 60,000, I mean, that's insane. I mean, I could write a book on weight loss, and you'd open up the page and it would be one page, and I tell you all about different types of fasting, which you're going to find out about in this program. But it probably wouldn't be a bestseller. Now it should be, but again, misinformed, super consumers, hard to break that, for a lot of people. But you're here because you want to lose weight. No, you're here because you're sick and tired of feeling and looking the way you do, and you've made it, you've made a change. So, I'm glad that you're on board for this, and you're going to learn all about it, and you're going to feel great, and you're going to look great, and you're going to say, why didn't I do this sooner? How come? Well, it took me this long to find out about it, but don't worry. You're here now. So, here's, here's what, takes place for, week one of your Fat Method program. Um, you're going to fast twice for the first week. And each time you do it, you're going to fast for 24 hours. Okay. So you're going to do two 24-hour fasts for week one. When you do your fast, what I mean by that is your 24-hour period could be any 24 hours you want. I'm going to strongly suggest that you go from dinner to dinner. So what that means is, let's say for argument's sake, you're going to fast on a Tuesday. Right, so Monday night you're going to have dinner. Whatever time it's 6 o'clock. Let's just say you eat at 6 o'clock, and then again Tuesday night you're going to have dinner at 6 o'clock. So there's your 24 hours in between Monday and Tuesday's dinner. You'll have your sleep. So hopefully you're getting and we're going to talk more about sleep later in the program, but hopefully you're getting anywhere between 6 and 8 hours. So let's say, for argument's sake, if you're getting 7 hours, right, that's almost a third of the 24-hour fast. You're never going to go a day without eating, right? So, you're going to fast for two 24-hour days, right? Two 24-hour periods. That's 48 hours, it's 2 days. But if you eat dinner Monday night and then you eat again your dinner Tuesday night, you're still eating on Monday and Tuesday. Okay. And the next question is, what do I do? So what do I do when I'm not fasting? You're not going to change anything for week one unless you want to. Some people say, but they want to start eating healthier, and of course, I'm not going to tell you, not to eat healthier than you are now. That's always going to be good, but I'm not going to say, all right, you're going to have to eat, have this, and this, and that's pretty much what every other diet program does or weight loss, program does. So they're going to tell you, what to eat, right? You go to a nutritionist and she tells you, all right, this is what you're going to eat, and you might say, oh, I really don't like that stuff. Well, too bad. That's what you're gonna eat. That's not what this is about. All right, that's not sustainable and that's not enjoyable and it's not necessary. Okay. So you're gonna do two 24-hour fasts and then you're not gonna change anything else. So let's say you have dinner on Monday night and then you have dinner again on Tuesday night. After that, go back to what you normally do. Go back to your normal eating schedule, go back to the normal foods that you eat, and then maybe you do it again on Thursday or Friday. You do your second 24-hour fast. So here's what's going to start to happen with the fasting. One thing in particular that you're going to notice when you go to break your fast. Okay, so again, let's say use Monday to Tuesday as an example. You eat dinner Monday night, and then you eat dinner again Tuesday night. As Tuesday dinner approaches, you're going to start to feel really hungry, right? You're going to get, excited that your fast is going to be over. You're going to look forward to dinner, and then you're probably not going to eat nearly as much as you think when you break your fast. It's really incredible. So it doesn't happen to everybody, but I would say almost everybody has that feeling. Then, they say afterwards, yeah, you were right. I didn't eat nearly as much as I thought. I was so hungry, I was ravenous, and then I started eating and I got full so fast. It happens almost all the time. I haven't yet found out exactly why, scientifically that happens. My guess is that it's almost like a gastric bypass surgery where your stomach, it kind of shrinks a little bit. It starts out, this big, and let's say, when you're fasting, your stomach it kind of shrinks, and then when you go to eat, you get full real fast. It's a great thing, right? So not only did you just not eat for 24 hours, now when you go to eat or when you're eating, you're not eating as much as you used to. Sometimes people say, oh, I didn't, notice any change. Very rarely, but sometimes people do say that they, really didn't notice much of a change, but they certainly didn't, they certainly didn't eat more than they would have. So that's what they think. Oh, I just didn't eat for, I didn't eat for the 24 hours. Now I'm going to go overeat and I'm going to negate the fast that I just did. Um, I would say, and I would wager to bet that it would be almost difficult for you to eat more than you normally do when you break your fast. It just doesn't happen. It's a great thing. Like I said, you're going to notice that what's going to happen. You're going to notice right away. You might not notice it from the first fast or even in the first week, but you'll notice it as the weeks start to progress. You're going to start eating healthier without me saying it to you. You're going to start to crave healthier foods, and you're not going to crave the unhealthy foods that maybe you used to crave. So let's say you had like, sweet tooth, or, you crave salty foods, whatever it is. And, or you like eat, potato chips or, snack on stuff like that. You're going to start to see that, fade after a little while, that the foods that normally maybe you didn't, really have a liking to, or you didn't really crave, you're going to start to eat those more. You're going to start to crave them. and that's a good thing, right? So, quick story about somebody who went through this program about 6 or 7 months ago, and they did a 7-day fast. That wasn't part of the program. I never told them to do 7 days. They just felt great, and you're going to see that as we go on, and talk about, I'll talk about extended fasting, beyond 24 hours, 36, 48 hours. You'll see that people in the private Facebook group, talking about it. You'll see people on our live Zoom calls on Wednesday nights, talking about it. This person in particular, and actually I've had 3 people that have done 7-day fasts, but one person in particular said they couldn't get over, when they were getting to the end of their fast, so, around day 4, day 5, day 6, and on day 7, they were breaking the fast with dinner, and all they could think about eating was cottage cheese and blueberries. How funny is that, right? You think, all right, you fasted for 7 days, you're gonna want, big juicy steak, French fries, cheeseburger, whatever, and all they wanted was cottage cheese and blueberries, and then when they did eat, that's what they actually had. They were craving it, and, they wanted it. When they did eat, they didn't eat that much, and they went back to their normal schedule. You know, how much weight how much weight did they lose? They lost a lot. That person wound up losing 34 pounds in 7 days. I've had, people lose anywhere between 10, 11, 12 pounds to as much as 36 pounds. And it's funny because everybody starts at a different spot, right? So you might only want to lose 15 pounds, and or someone else might only need to lose 15 pounds. So that's what you'll do. Your body is very good at it, and you're being able to lose the weight that needs to lose in order to be quote unquote healthy. It doesn't like to be heavy like that. It's it's a lot of extra work. So that's why the weight in the beginning comes off very fast for somebody who's very heavy, right? And then as we get closer to our goal weight of being a healthier weight, what's considered a normal weight, it gets, more difficult because your body it doesn't have the need to get rid of as much weight, because you're on the healthy side now, and you don't have as much weight to lose. So, yeah, I had somebody go through the program who lost, I think it was 11 pounds in the 8 weeks. This person, they dropped, sizes as far as their clothes go, and she was ecstatic, right? So that again, it runs a whole wide range, and it just depends on who you are, how much you have to lose. So, we're gonna take care of what you need to lose. And guess what? If you don't lose the exact amount that you want to lose within the 8 weeks, you can just keep on going and keep on doing the fat method, past those 8 weeks. So, many people have continued, doing the fat method. I had somebody email me a few weeks ago, they lost 24 pounds, during the 8 weeks, and they just continued. They absolutely loved it, and it became a lifestyle. They told me that they just hit the 60-pound mark. So they're down 60 pounds. I mean, how awesome is that, right? In addition to that, not just this person, but you're going to start to experience all the other things that come along. So, not just the weight loss, it's the health benefit. It's more energy, it's sleeping better, it's, less bloating, it's more mental clarity, all those things, we're like, how could that be possible in addition to all the physical things that we get, the physical benefits that we get? These are all the other benefits that have to do with not eating or fasting that you don't even think of. Things like, not having to schedule, right? When am I going to be eating on a certain day? If it's a day you're fasting, you don't have to think about it, right? Not having to, pack or not having to make a lunch, pack it for work, not having to cook dinner. Obviously, if you're a parent or mother or father, and you cook meals for your family, you're going to still, have to do that. But not having to schedule anything, and not having to pack anything, or not have to, how about not having to clean up anything, right? This is more, for like a breakfast and a lunch thing. And then, what about all the other things, like the other diets where it's, you're counting calories and you're making sure that you fall within this range, counting macros or macronutrients, how much protein should I have? How much fat should I have? You or, how many carbs should I have? Do I have to do high carb? Do I have to do low carb? Do I do high fat, low fat? Excuse me, should I be, eating after dinner? Should I skip breakfast? I heard breakfast, is so important. It's none of that. So this is gonna be like weight loss for dummies, and there's a very popular book line with everything for dummies. Well, I think this should be weight loss for dummies. It's mindless. You don't have to think about anything. I've had many people go through the program that tell me they look forward to their fasting days because it's mindless. They don't have to do anything. It gives them more time, right? You don't have to schedule time to sit down and eat lunch. You don't have to schedule time to sit down and have breakfast. It's just, the whole day is open. How great is that, right? That's the liberating feeling, all right? And I say you can get a liberating feeling from not having to worry about your eating. And as I said, not only is it going to bring on weight loss, but you're going to just feel so much better and it's healthy. All right. I'm going to be sending you 5 different articles in an email, 5 attachments. They're PDF attachments, and I'm going to give you some infographics, and you're going to see what goes on in your body during your fast. At the 5 hour mark, at the 10 hour mark, 15, 20, 25, 30, all the way up. I think up to 48 hours, and it's incredible. You're going to look at it and say, like, wow, this goes on inside my body when I'm not eating. Now, with all that said, with all those great things that are going to happen and you're going to experience, you're going to find, it's going to be like, super easy, right? So what's going to happen during your first fast, and maybe your first couple of fasts, is that you might get a headache, a little bit. Some people do, some people don't. But like I said, some people do it. It's not that's a terrible headache, but you're gonna know it because your body's in shock from not eating. Um, you've never done this before. It's new to you. It's new to your system. So you might get a little bit of a headache. You might also get hungry at times, right? I mean, it would be crazy to think that you're not going to be hungry at all. But here's the thing that they say to everybody: it's just food, right? It's just food. We make such a big deal of it, but we make such a big deal of food, in this country, right? And I know it's a big part of our society, it's a big part of being social and all that kind of stuff. But during the day, during our normal Monday through Friday, let's say there's usually, nothing great going on, right? Unless it's a special occasion or something. But it's easy to go without food if we don't make it as big of a deal as we're used to making it, because it's really not that big of a deal, right? But know that know that you're going to be hungry, but know that you can just fight that feeling off because it usually passes. It's usually only like 10, 15, maybe 20-minute thing, and then it passes and you go right back to it. So I want you to do your best. I shouldn't even say do your best, just fight that feeling off and get past it. Here's here's what where I would say, don't fight that feeling. And this doesn't really happen, but it has happened once before with somebody going through the program. Is that this person in particular, they just felt really awful. They absolutely just felt awful. So they had more than a headache. They just didn't feel good. They got a sick feeling in their stomach. And if that happens, stop your fast. All right, break the fast. Have something small to eat, sit down. You can start, you can start your first fast the next day. All right. But when that happened to somebody, going through the program, they just, stopped the fast and they started, their fast again that next day. And they said they were totally fine. So again, it was just a shock to their system. It was, just their first time. Somebody who normally had eaten, 4 or 5 times a day, and you know, they just needed to get that out of their system, which they did. So, yeah, like I said, you might be a little uncomfortable, right? You might get a little hungry. You might have a little bit of a headache, but it's not going to be a big deal. And as long as that's it, then you're going to be fine, and you'll get through it. And one other question that always comes up is what can we actually have during a fast? And you can drink water, obviously, okay, but you can also have flavored seltzers, like LaCroix Bubbly. That's okay. You can have coffee, but it has to be black. All right. Once you put milk or cream or sugar in it, the fast is over, and we don't want that to happen, right? Or something silly like that. So again, you can have black coffee. There have been many people gone through the program that have said, there's absolutely no way that I'm drinking black, my coffee black. And I swear to you now that they've gone through the program, even on days that they're not fasting, and they're drinking their coffee black, and they say, "Oh my God, I was one of those people." Um, I never, uh, would have lost a lot of money if I bet you saying that I was going to drink black coffee, and they do. Not everybody, but there are definitely a handful of people that's happened to. So you can have your coffee, with your cream and sugar on your non-fasting days, but when you're fasting, you can't. You can't have the cream and sugar. Some people say, "Well, can I have alcohol?" No, when you're fasting, you cannot have alcohol. But right now, being that this is a 24-hour fast, and you're probably going to go from dinner to dinner, then you can have a glass of wine with dinner because you're not fasting anymore, right? You can't have wine the next day when you wake up. When you wake up at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, you can't have wine or beer, during lunch if it's your fasting day. But at night, when you break your fast, you can have it at that point. All right. So that's it. So you should be very excited. This, like I said, this is gonna be life changing. This is gonna be a life changing moment for you right now. This first Zoom is going to be life changing. So from here, like I said, what you're going to do is you're going to fast twice a week. All right, 2 times for the first week for 24 hours. All right. And want to make sure that you post in the private Facebook group if you have any questions. Okay. You might even want to just post, "Hey guys, I'm going through my first fast. Any tips, wish me luck," or whatever it is. And you'll get responses from us, and you'll be other people chiming in and responding and cheering you on. It's very motivating. Beyond that, you'll look out for the email that you're going to get with your workouts. You'll look for the email that you're going to get, with your Zoom link for the live Zoom calls. And again, so those Zoom calls, they're going to be every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. That's where you can come on and ask, any questions that you have. You get your answers right away, and then you're also going to get an invite to the private Facebook group. And again, my that's called my fat group. Fat, it's an acronym. It stands for fasting and training. Okay, so those two things, fasting and training, and we'll get into the exercise part of this whole thing in one of our future modules. Can't remember. I think it might be week 3, where we go over the exercising. But that's it, guys. So fasting and training. The fat method, you're here. I love it. I'm excited. You should be excited. And that's going to be it for module number 1. See you guys all in the private Facebook group, or on the live Zoom call Wednesday at 7 o'clock. If you have any questions, you can you can ask in the private Facebook group. You can email me. You can ask on Wednesday night. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys next week. All right. That's it. Bye for now, guys.